Hello, my name is Katie Sherlock, and I'm an occupational therapist here at the HOI Orthopedic Institute. You may have met me already, or if not, you'll meet myself or a colleague shortly. But what this video is for is to reinforce, in addition to the one-on-one practice that you'll do with an occupational therapist, we want to make sure that you're confident in the ability to manage your brace and get yourself dressed at home with one arm. So this video is for you and your family to review as needed to build up your comfort level, to make sure that you can manage things at home when you're ready to discharge. After your shoulder surgery, your surgeon may or may not clear you for a little bit of some gentle movement to that shoulder. If that's the case, your physical therapist and your surgeon will let you know specifically what movements you're allowed to do and which directions you're allowed to move that arm. However, all of our shoulder surgeons typically agree that the first couple weeks after surgery, they don't want you actively using your shoulder muscles to lift that arm. So for the first couple weeks, you're not going to use your own muscles to lift that arm. You're not going to use your own muscles to shrug that shoulder. You're not going to use your own muscles to tense up that area. Now this is going to be difficult to do because when you're in pain, we tend to want to tense up that area. The problem is that when we tense up that area, we pull on the shoulder muscles and it pulls on the area that you just had surgery on. That's going to make it hurt more. That's going to cause, that could potentially cause damage and more pain in that area. So one trick I'm going to show you is instead of lifting that arm to get yourself dressed or to get yourself bathed, instead what we're going to do is we're going to lean forward very slightly at the waist. This is going to pull your arm away from your body just far enough that you could reach underneath to wash your armpit. Or you can lean forward just far enough to use your other hand to pull your shirt sleeve up your arm or to pull your brace on your arm. So let's talk about your shoulder brace. After your surgery, you'll wake up with a brace similar to this already on you. We call this a shoulder abduction brace. Let's talk about how to get this brace on and off because this is something you'll need to do at home. You have to be able to get the brace off in order to get yourself dressed. You've got to be able to get the brace on and off to be able to get yourself washed. You need to be able to get the brace on and off at least a couple times a day to make sure that you're moving your elbow. We want to keep the rest of your arm mobile so that you don't have other problems by the time your shoulder's healed. So let's take a look at this brace. There's 4 straps. One comes underneath the thumb, holds the arm back in the brace. Another comes across your forearm. This, again, holds the arm in the brace. There's a strap that comes around your waist. This keeps your arm from being way over here or way back here. Now, the most important strap comes across your shoulder. This is the strap that's going to hold it, essentially provide the support to your arm. So when you put the brace on, I always like to put this strap on first. When you take the brace off, take it off last because this is the one that's providing you some support. So when we want to take this brace off, the first thing we're going to do is unhook the small straps on the side. So I'm going to unhook from here. The Velcro is going to stick to everything. So I like to fold the Velcro back on itself and attach it. I'm going to unhook from the side and again fold it back on itself somewhere. Now I can unhook the strap at my waist. This one we're going to push in the center and then pull apart. This strap that comes across my shoulder, this strap and buckle is very difficult to do one-handed. So what I suggest, even if you've got someone helping you, is to loosen up the Velcro. Always fasten it back on itself so you don't lose the strap. And take that strap off over your head. That way it's not going to get twisted, you're not going to lose it, and you don't have to buckle it back with one hand. From there, all you need to do is gently bring the brace off of your arm. Your arm really didn't have to do any moving. We pulled the brace down off of your arm. This is a great way for your family to help. So once you undo most of the buckles, if you can hold your arm still, your family member can pull that brace down and off your arm. Now that you've got the brace off, You could wash under your armpit, you could do some gentle exercises, or you could get dressed. After that, you'll have to put the brace back on. So when we go to put the brace back on, I like to start in standing if you've got the balance. From there, you're going to let your elbow straighten. So the only difference between this position and that position is straightening from the elbow. So if you let your arm relax and lean forward a little bit at the waist, you're going to have room to get your brace put on. So from here, if you're leaning forward slightly, you or your family member can bring the brace up your arm. Now you notice I did not at all move my surgical arm. So from here, once I've got the brace started, I'm going to bring the strap over my head. I can cinch it up a little bit to give it some more support, and now it's holding my arm again. From here, we want to make sure that your elbow's all the way at the back of the brace. So what you may need to do is tug slightly on the brace. That's going to bring your arm to the back. Once that piece is on, we can bring the strap back from around your waist. You're going to buckle it right at the front again. And then we'll attach the other small straps. One comes across the elbow, the other comes under the thumb. And then the brace is back on and you're ready to go. Now you'll notice we did loosen this strap to take it off, so you may need to adjust this. You want this strap tightened to the point that your hand and your elbow are at about the same height. So you don't want your hand hanging down drastically. That's going to cause you to become swollen. And you don't want your hand pulled up so tight that it's tightening up the bicep muscles. That's going to cause a lot more pain. We want to rest in a nice neutral position there. The other thing I want to show you is this ball. So each brace comes with a small ball. Couple uses for this ball. One is that holding the ball will kind of remind you to move your fingers. So although you had surgery on your shoulder, we want to make sure that your hand, your wrist, and your elbow keep mobile. So we want to make sure that we keep moving your fingers. It's also going to help from getting too swollen after surgery. The other thing I like to use this brace for is if we put it right underneath the hand. That gives a nice place to rest your fingers, and that way your wrist isn't flopping around. It just gives you another place to be more stable. Now I look forward to visiting with each of you one-on-one after your surgery before you go home. We want to practice getting your brace on and off. We'll practice getting you're dressed. We'll practice doing a small little sponge bath just to make sure that you're confident doing the things that you need to do to be able to manage at home. If you have any questions or concerns, please ask your nurse or the physical therapist. They tend to be one of the first people to get in and see you. And ask for an occupational therapy consult. I'm happy to work with each of you one-on-one, and I'd be happy to come by and address any of your questions. Thank you so much, and I wish you the best of luck.